Welcome, intrepid taste buds, to the tantalizing world of hops and barley. Brace yourselves for a journey of suds and froth with Shagdog and Jammer. Witness the audacious duel between the bitter and the sweet, the fizzy and the flat. Will it be a triumphant swallow or a defiant spit? Only the beer decides in the Spit or Swallow Beer Review. Brace yourselves, it's brew o'clock.
Hey! Turn it down, people. Turn it down. Spit or Swallow Beer Review. Thanks for watching. APS. Arnold Palmer Spike. This is a drinking and thinking Easter Sunday vibes. I'm just drinking. I thought I had Miller High Life's in the fridge, and I didn't. So I had one Arnold Palmer. I had to change the title. But that's okay. Let's pour it into the glass. Or should I drink it out of the can? Pour it into the glass. Why not, right? This is half lemon, half iced tea, spiked, 5% ABV. I reviewed it a few days ago, so check out that video. Did a dual review with Jammer. And yeah, this is really good. I mean, if you ever had that Long Island iced tea in a can, that crap's horrible. This is really good. This is the best iced tea I've had in a can so far. Anyhow, it's Easter Sunday morning. I got the Easter bunnies behind me. You know, I don't play around. I mean, ever since I was a little kid, even though I look kind of weird in this picture, it's me and my older brother on Easter back in I was probably 1 year old and 3 months, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, we were always getting with the babes on Easter. Yep. Probably should have shared that on screen. It would have been a lot easier, huh? Anyhow. Yeah. So, yeah, always get with the babes on Easter, I am. And she was a cutie, and that was, if I was 1 year and 3 months old, so that had to be 1973, give or take a month. Whether Easter was in March or April that year, I don't know. Wow, and that lady was high. And I actually posted on Facebook in the city I grew up in. Anybody remember this lady? Man, I love looking at that Easter bunny picture every year since I was a kid. Anywho, yeah, Easter memories. That's what this one's going to be about, I think. Easter memories. Now, I don't remember that, but I remember the picture, Had to get a little sip of that Southern iced tea and lemonade. Other Easter memories. Wow. I remember one time I got sick on Easter. I was at my grandmother's house. I remember having an earache or something really bad. So that wasn't a very pleasant Easter. And then probably a year or two later, or maybe it might have been a year after this next incident, as Easter, we actually had Easter dinner at our house. We usually went to my grandmother's house. But this year we had Easter at our house. It might have been the first year we lived there. I don't know. But me, my brother, my cousin, and step cousin, my stepfather's nephew, his great nephew, and his uncle, which was, his mother's sister, or mother's brother. Yeah, they didn't have those sister brothers back then, I don't think, or not out in public at least. So this is in the 70s. Yeah, so Uncle Eddie, my cousin, my brother, and me, we decided to go up to East Hill. And we're going to ride down the hill on our bikes. And my cousin David was probably the smart one. He didn't go up. We got to the hill, and he's like, yeah, he's not going up. So me, my brother, and Eddie went up there. And, I always thought I was more agile than my older brother, but apparently this day I wasn't. Of course, I was only 8 years old or something like that. Going down this hill on a banana seat bike. So when you took your feet off the pedals kept going, So those pedal brake type bikes, which I miss those type of bikes. Because you leave good skid marks with that stuff. But Anyhow, I'm going down the hill. My feet come flying off the pedals. This is Easter Sunday. Family's all at the house. There's this coming down this hill, and you hit this bridge that goes over the highway, and that's why I wrecked it because I was going so fast, lost control, tried to get my feet back on the pedals. Feet got tangled up in the pedals, flipped over the handlebars. I think I was riding in the road, but I ended up on a sidewalk, and I came close to the wall. So luckily, there's a wall there at least. I didn't go off the bridge, but I was all tore up, had cuts all over me, had a cut in my chin. Where a dog bit me like 3 months before that wound reopened. I was tore up. Got back home crying, bloodied. Had to blame it on Uncle Eddie. But anyhow, yeah. They said I probably should get stitches because there's like a hole in my chin. Didn't get stitches though. But I never got stitches. Should probably got stitches. Never got stitches though. Apply pressure, it'll stop bleeding, right? Yeah, I remember that one. And then the sickness. I don't know if that was before that or maybe the year after. I think it might have been the year after that where I got the earache. I was at my grandmother's house because we only had the Easter one time at our house there. After that horrible incident, my grandmother was like, yeah, she's not doing Easter at our house again. Probably what it was. There are only two bad luck moments of Easter that I remember. The second time, like I think of the injury and then the sickness, I was like, man, I'm injured and sick on Easter. Maybe Jesus don't love me. That's my mindset, But I know he does. So that high luck would have been pretty good, but this Arnold Palmer Spike is really good. I haven't seen this. Maybe it only comes out when the Masters are going on because I bought a 24-ounce can of this like 2 years ago, and I haven't seen it since. And then I came across 2 12-packs at my local grocery store. And actually, I didn't even see the second 12-pack. It was behind some other stuff to the right. The one 12-pack was ripped open and raggedy. The 12-pack box looked wet, so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to buy that. And then the beer distributor there's another one right here. Oh, I'm like, oh, okay. So I bought it. I don't like buying 12-packs, but this is pretty good. So I can sip on these every once in a while for the next couple weeks. Pretty good, yeah. Easter memories, man. It's amazing if you think about holidays, how wonderful and happy you are about these holidays, Easter, Christmas. But if you really think back, there's not too much you can think of, at least for me. I mean, I'm sure if I sat here, I could think about certain things that happened on Christmas. There's a couple of them. But you can't really sit back. Yeah, when I was 7 years old on that Christmas and 8 years old on this Christmas. And I mean, I do remember different things on Christmas. Like one year I asked for this little arcade game. It's like a little tiny, looked like an arcade game, but it was like a little miniature one, like this big. It was something like Galaga, but it was called something else. Didn't get it. Upset. Well, I got it the next year. A year late and $1 short. But, okay. Stuff like that happened all the time. Like I'd ask for something, didn't get it. I get it the next year. So bless my mother for at least remembering and getting me the same thing the next year. Maybe she bought it within the next couple of months and held on to it all year long for the next Christmas. That'd be funny. I should ask her about that. Yeah. Anything else on Christmas? I remember Christmas like that, stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Anyhow, I'm just reminiscing. It sucks now that, I live in South Carolina, just my parents are here, and it's just the three of us. We do have a neighbor coming over today for Easter. My brother's down in Florida. We used to have big family gatherings for these things. From my young days when I was a kid with my grandparents' house, there'd be at least 9, 10, 11 of us. And then later on in Florida, me and my two brothers, our families, my parents, got to be a lot. I mean, once they had all the kids, my two step kids, my brother's two kids and his one step kid, and then my other brother's two kids. So I mean, that's like 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 kids, and then adults were parents, me and my girl, my brother and his girl, 15. There's 15 right there, and then occasionally we'd have some other people over there. So man, now so 11 up to 15, now down to 3. Amazing. But even when we lived in Florida, the numbers dwindled down because my oldest brother passed away in 2011. And once he passed away, matter of fact, uh, his wife met some other guy. So she was still coming around for about a year or two, and then it dwindled down. And then my brother and his ex divorced about a year and 1 month, separated after my brother died. And then about 4 or 5 months later, me and my girl split up. And I was just less of my younger brother and his kids came over for Christmas and holidays and stuff. So, but my deceased brother, his kids might have came over still up until about 2019, stopped by for a couple hours or whatever. But that was about it. And then 2019 was the last year because we had a falling out, my nephew and my mother and kind of myself. I kind of started it. But oh well. He was putting communist stuff on Facebook. I was asking him, why are you putting communist shit on Facebook? And all of a sudden he snapped on my mother, called my mother up and his grandmother and started like whining and crying like a little communist kid that he is and blamed her for everything in his life. And that was it. I've seen him like a couple times since then, but that was the last time they came around, him and his sister. Oh, wow. That's okay. Now, I'm in my 50s. Maybe it's my turn to have some actual kids, blood related kids, not step kids. Maybe it's time for Shag Dog to produce some little younglings. Yeah, I could groom them, make them into superior beer reviewers when I get older, of course. I could have them reviewing like soda pops or candies or something like that, starting off. I don't know, but my first boy I have, I'm going to name him Jammer after my best friend Jammer. And if it's a girl, her name's going to be Jammerette. Alrighty. Whoa. Easter, huh? I'm going to start looking for a new job this week. I'm just tired of working nights. And I recall the last time I worked 11 to 7. I work 10 to 7 now, but back in my young days, I worked 11 to 7 shift when I was single, and it was hard to meet people. I recall I worked that job from January 98 until October of 99, and I didn't have any relationships. Then again, I still didn't have any relationships up until April of 2021. So, but I digress. It took me time to turn it back over, I mean, I met a couple girls, but I didn't have any actual relationships. So, till April of 2021. Then, if a girl wants you real quick and shows up at your house uninvited, after you first go out a couple times, like once or twice, then you know that's trouble. Anyhow, yeah, I mean that means they're checking up on you, make sure you're not married, which is kind of, I guess, a good thing to do, I guess, because there's a lot of guys out there. But what would she have done if I had a wife at the house there? Because she knew where I lived. We went out one time. I went out with Jammer. She was there. She's like, Jammer drove up. She's like, I'll give him a ride home and from the bar, karaoke bar. And she gave me a ride home. And okay, I gotta go in. Oh, I told her I lived, at the time, just got out of the army and lived with my parents. And she apparently didn't believe me because about 2 days later, she shows up unannounced, knocking on the door. Probably want to see if I had a wife. Now, what would she have done if I had a wife? Would she? Well, he was with me at the club the other night. I mean, that's great. Ruin a man's life, huh? For having a little fun. And there's probably women out there like that. Apparently, she was one of those type of women. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's good for men to be going out on their wives and having fun with women. If I was married, I definitely wouldn't take to have some girl drop me off at the house. At least not my house. Maybe about 5 houses down, 6 houses down. I wouldn't have her drop me off in my driveway. So I have to remember that next time. Yeah. You ever get dropped off by a girl you go out with, which you should have your own car, but I didn't like drinking and driving. I let Jammer do all that. But yeah, if you ever go out with a girl and you gotta get dropped off, make sure you have her drop you off on a down the street and around a different corner, so she thinks you live on a different street. Even walk up to people's doors, wave goodbye, open the screen door, act like you're gonna go in. And then if she's still sitting there waiting for you to go in all the way, go back to her car. It's like, did I leave my keys in your car? Yeah, oh God, I locked myself out. What am I gonna do? Yeah, God, I'm so smart. Guess I'm gonna have to go to your place. Yeah. Well, here we go, yo. Yeah, that's probably going to be it for this one. Spit or Swallow beer review. Thanks to my one viewer that's watching. It's probably my mother. It's a great Sunday when you can drink Arnold Palmer Spiked original half and half iced tea and lemonade. Very delicious. I wasn't even going to come on here today, but it's just such a rough night at work. And I got to look for a new job. I needed Monday through Friday, holidays off. I should have went for some city job that was posted a couple weeks ago. I saw it. Better money than what I'm making now. But it was, I mean, I don't think it said, it was, I think it was a gopher type job. There's a trail that goes through the middle of town. I don't know how long it is, 7-8 mile trail. So it said you maintain that. It didn't say like mowing the lawn or trimming or anything, but it just said picking up debris off the trail, tree limbs, tree branches, whatever. And then it also said you had to clean the porta potties or whatever along the trail. And then there's this little outside amphitheater area, a little tiny amphitheater, concrete, I don't know, maybe sits about 200 people, maybe. I guess you have to clean that up, and the porta potties or restrooms, I think. And that's all you said you had to do. And during the holidays, you had to help put stuff up downtown, on the lights, the lampposts, Christmas things, and all that kind of garbage. Which that's what threw me off right there. I was like, what? I got to put Christmas stuff up. I was like going above and beyond there. But I was like, after this week, I was like, man, I should have applied for that. Who knows? I might have liked it. And Monday through Friday, holidays off, paid holidays. the federal holidays or whatever. That would have been nice. Oh, well. Which is weird, though, because I saw that job, and then I saw other jobs that were paying $4 less an hour. I just looked the other day. That job's gone. But some other jobs paying $4 less an hour, and they seem harder. I was like, there must have been something with that job. I don't know. Anywho, Spinner Swallow Beer Review, Easter Sunday Madness, or Easter Sunday Vibes. Probably giving you good vibes. We'll see you on the next one. Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Shag Dog, check us out. Maybe next week. This week I probably won't do any more beer reviews. But look for us on probably not this coming Wednesday, but the next Wednesday after that. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, like. See you soon.